Hello everyone, welcome to yet another section of the lesson, Structural Classification of the Sentence. It's your guide on the English language, Martin Ekpa. Don't forget, we're at ISIFE EDUBLOG, where we bring you the best of academics. Now, we had looked at the simple sentence and shown every detail of how the simple sentence works. Today, we shall be looking at both the compound sentence and the complex sentence. Now, the compound sentence is a kind of sentence that expresses two ideas or two thoughts using two main clauses. Here is what you should know. What we call a clause is only so called when it is not a part of a larger sentence. What I mean is this. I have a pen is a full-fledged sentence. I am using it is a full-fledged sentence. But we could make these two sentences to become one sentence. For instance, if somebody needs my pen, and because I'm busy using the pen, I can't give to the person, I'll say, well, I have a pen, but I am using it. I have a pen, but I am using it. In I have a pen, but I'm using it, you see that we have joined these two sentences. And by virtue of joining them using the coordinating conjunction but, each now becomes a clause. This is a main clause, this is a main clause, because together they become one sentence that we know as a compound sentence. So in the construction of a compound sentence, you have two clauses that can actually be extracted as sentences each. So that's what we're looking at here. Now, a sentence expressing two ideas using two main clauses is a compound sentence. We did well, but she had made up her mind. Catch him and bring him here. So, catch him, one main clause, bring him here, another main clause. So if you isolate this, you could put a full stop here, capitalize this, and put a full stop here. Bring him here is a sentence, catch him is a sentence. That's what we mean by a compound sentence. Next example. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. That's a compound sentence. It's your choice. How do we form the compound sentence? Of course, I have given you the hint to further deepen your knowledge on how to form compound sentences. I have put this on the board for you. Now, I love her. I don't want to marry her. These are two different things, right? I love her. I don't want to marry her. Now, if you have a reason to join these two sentences, that is another thing. Have the right sense of judgment to know what conjunction is the best given the idea you want to express. What do you think is the right conjunction to join these two sentences? I love her. I don't want to marry her. Now, this one is positive and this is negative. How do you manage it? You need a conjunction capable of managing one positive idea and another negative idea. One positive idea and one negative idea, that is. You have to look for such a conjunction. That conjunction should be but. In this case, I love her, but I don't want to marry her. That's it. We form the compound sentence using those two simple sentences. I love her, but I don't want to marry her. Now, form a compound sentence using these two. The first sentence is come in. The second is don't disturb me. Come in. Don't disturb me. What do you think? Come in. I think but is the best word again. Don't you think so? Yes, but. Come in, but don't disturb me. This one says he has been paid. He didn't do the job. I think yet we'll do it here. He has been paid, yet he didn't do the job. Yet he didn't do the job, despite having been paid. All right? I know him. I can vouch for him. How can you join that? I know him. I can vouch for him. Put in one single sentence. I know him and I can vouch. Right? I know him and I can vouch for him. So that's a compound sentence now, this time using and. So you, following these guidelines, become conscious of when you use compound sentences and how best to coin them. All right, let's go to the complex sentence. The complex sentence. Yes. This kind of sentence expresses two thoughts, but with clauses that are of unequal ranks. It has, or they have at least one main clause and one subordinate clause. All right? They have at least one main clause and one subordinate clause. Let's look at our examples. The boys traveled before the mother returned. The boys traveled. Put a full stop here. It's a complete sentence. Before the mother traveled, before the mother returned, you see, has questions to answer. So that is a subordinate clause, unlike what we had here where the two clauses were equal. So before the mother returned is a subordinate clause that makes the sentence a complex sentence. When you get tired, go to bed. You could notice something. The first sentence, I started with the main clause, there was no comma. But the second sentence, I started with the subordinate clause. A comma separates the subordinate clause from the main clause. Alright? So when you start a sentence with the lesser clause, the dependent clause, separate it with a comma from the main clause. Because there is usually a natural pause when you do that. There's usually a natural pause. If you need me, call this number. If you need me, call this number. So, if you need me is the subordinate clause, call this number is the main clause. Now, we are looking at how to form the complex sentence. How to form the complex sentence. You could see that in one instance, I used a subordinate conjunction before. But in other instances where I started with the subordinate clauses, the subordinate conjunctions were at the beginning. When, if, and there is a comma in the middle. That's one thing to take note of. Put everything in order. Now, before you leave the house, so to join them, we say, put everything in order. Put everything in order before you leave the house. I will eat. That's a main clause. While you complete your assignment, is a subordinate. To make this subordinate clause a part of this sentence, we will remove the full stop here. So I will eat, or let me eat while you complete your assignment. 2 ideas joined by while. While. In this case, put everything in order before joined it with the subordinate clause. Alright? Because she had too much work. Because she had too much work. One may ask, so what happened? There is a reason. Here is the main clause. She did not give me much attention. Either way, you could start with because, and that's another thing that is important. I wouldn't know why some teachers insist that you shouldn't start sentences with because. Please, gone at the era of what we call prescriptive grammar. We are more of the descriptive grammarians today. We speak the English language the way the native speakers would naturally want to speak them. So no need to tell somebody not to start a sentence with because. Right? Because is an English word and can start a sentence. So, if we wish, we can start it with because. Because she had too much work, she did not give me much attention. So that's it. Now, I do hope you follow these lessons as they come. The compound sentence and the complex sentence here completed, we say when you make them, irrespective, if you're writing, irrespective of your sentence structure, what is important is that you take note of what you're doing and do it consciously. You can make a long sentence provided you know when to pause. All right? When to observe your colon, your semicolon, your comma, and all that. You can make a long sentence. This kind of sentence, we call the compound sentence, we said, expresses two thoughts using equal clauses, two main clauses. The opposite, the complex sentence, uses unequal clauses to express two ideas. That is the basic difference. Now, we use and, but, yet. For the compound sentences, or can also do. Alright? I think someone said take it or leave it. Yes. Alright? But in the case of the complex sentence, we use before, because, when, while, right? Since. Those are subordinate conjunctions that can join a main clause with a dependent clause. Take your time, learn how to form them. I love her, but I don't want to marry her. But is used. I know him, and I can vouch for him. and is used. Two positive things. I know him, positive. I can vouch for him, positive. And comes in. When you have a choice, or comes in. When you are admitting that something has been done but another hasn't been done, he has been paid, yet he didn't do the job. So there is a breach of contract. We use yet, For this one, we said, use a comma when you begin with a dependent clause, but run through the sentence when you begin with a main clause. Examples are on the board. The boys traveled before their mother returned. No comma. But when you get tired, you will observe a natural pause, and that is why we advise that you drop your comma in writing. When you get tired, go to bed. Good listeners, good students all over the world, I remain yours truly, Martin. We're at ISIFE EDUBLOG, and we hope you're sharing, you're liking, and you're subscribing to this channel. Thank you so much for being there.